I have become comfortably numb, in the words of Pink Floyd. And why? Because I just watched night two of WrestleMania. Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 200 of Hardest Part of the Ring. I am Bob. Hello, Bob Squad. What do you say? What do you know? Tip the veal, try the waitress, some weather we are having. And I just got done watching night two of WrestleMania on April 2nd, 2023 on the Peacock Network. If you're not familiar, it's an NBC based streaming platform application with The Office, Law and Order SVU, and wrestling, sort of. And I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else on it. I have my notebook, and we're going to go down the matches, and I want to give you a lot of thoughts. So many thoughts. Are you ready for the thoughts? Here come the thoughts. America the Beautiful, again a sign. Oh, if there weren't enough signs yesterday that Vince McMahon is back, whether he's been shadow booking this whole time or has his there's no way he could resist keeping his mitts out of creative. It is his baby, but it's not for us. It's an audience of one. And if there's one thing I can't help myself. If there's one thing Vince McMahon loves, it's making people sad, especially on the grandest stage of them all. Because he hates us. He truly hates wrestling and wrestling fans. He's always going to see us that way. It's going to get worse every year. He's got a mustache. And there's nothing he wants better to be the guy who sells it to whatever big company sells it to, Saudi Arabia or not, I don't know. Time will tell, and good riddance to it. I've been watching WWEF and various other wrestling promotions since shortly after WrestleMania 5 in '89. That is 34 years straight and 3 years gay. No, okay. 34 years straight, I was not one of the people who took a break during the New Generation. I stayed with it. I was not one of the people who took a break during the Ruthless Aggression era. I stayed with it. I didn't take a break during the PG era. I didn't take a break when everyone was just glad to be there. That's the Gratitude era. I didn't take a break when they were fighting closer to the equator. That was the Latitude era. And I didn't take a break when everyone was giving inspirational speeches. That was the Platitude era. Wait, Bob, are you done with those? Okay. I think it might be time after 30. And again, I'm fresh off watching what they did at the end of the show. This ultimate slap in the face with a dilapidated, flaccid, blue veined wiener to all of wrestling fans everywhere. They've done, of course, there's going to be finishes we don't like. There's going to be guys we don't want to winning, and guys we don't want to losing all the time. That's not what this was. This was a go to hell wrestling fans finish in the main event of WrestleMania. It wasn't a little thing. We'll do a silly thing on Raw. Let's mess with them. No. This was we hate you. I, Vince McMahon, hate you. I will put my idiot son on there with his midlife crisis to blow his knee out. And that could be forgotten because it was forgettable. I hope his knee is really hurt badly. How about that? You happy with that? It was a good WrestleMania, and they had to do this. America the Beautiful, Vince loves that song. It starts off with some dude is singing it. He has to sing it in a sexy voice. So now that everyone's horny, let's start the wrestling show. Shall we? So everyone is standing erect for the first match. Bob, you had that empowered, passionate speech and you went right to boner things, didn't you? Well, make no boners about it. This was a good opener. Omos versus Brock Lesnar. A bit of a formula here, similar to last night opening with Cena and Theory. This match had a simple finish. It went straight to the heat and then a comeback, basically a two-part match, because the babyface in it was already over. Cena night 1, Lesnar night 2. Omos tosses Brock around. Brock fights back. Three Germans, F5, 1, 2, 3, goodbye, and it was over. And it was fun. Yay, fun. Let's move on. Match number 2 was the four women tag teams. Last night, match 2 was the four men tag teams. The pattern. Notice the pattern. This was not as good as the men's four teams. This was really fake and really bad. Natty, the Italian Neidhart, walks to the ring with sloppy Blackheart. There's no Tank, so Tank's for nothing, which is fine. Natty is wearing a Shotzi Blackheart helmet and put a little green in her pink and blonde hair. And that's one of those goofy things I thought they'll talk about it on Divas on the E Network and pretend that the fans went crazy and they all remember this. No one. This was the quietest match of the two nights. Easily. Sorry for my voice. I was born with it. Maybe I was born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. We don't know. But it should be noted that Natalia and Slappy Blackheart gave somebody the Hart Foundation's old finish. Of course, her father was in that tag team. And Corey Graves called that finish the Heart Attack. Corey, I believe, according to WWE revisionist history, the finisher of the Hart Foundation was called the Cardiac Event. Excuse you. Ronda Rousey reminds us she's in this match at the end after doing zero things and taps out Sloppy Blackheart. This built no stars. This got no one over. Raquel Gonzalez could have been made here. Raquel could have gotten a pin on Ronda, or even a pin on Shayna while Ronda watched, and set that up. Because Raquel was really impressive. She's powerful. She can't stop smiling. We got to take away some of them smiles. She has a back. I thought her and Liv would win it and beat whoever the hell. Maybe Sonya Deville or Chelsea Green. That was one of the tag teams for some reason. Just because they're really big on Liv. But I forgot Ronda was in it, so that helped nobody. That was a waste of time. It was really, I mean, all these multi-team things got to be choreographed, but it was rough. It was very, very well, not well, it was very obviously, it was just too obvious because the people weren't in it. The next match, the third match, had three men in it for the Intercontinental Championship. Yesterday, the third match was a workhorse match. Seth and Logan Paul, believe it or not, even though he's green. And Titus O'Neil shows up to commentate for some reason. This third match was a workhorse match where Titus O'Neil shows up to commentate for some reason. It is the same show. So this was actually pretty good for a three-way, way better than I thought it would be. Gunther, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, they all chopped each other up. I thought Drew was going to win the thing. Probably pin his friend Sheamus. Gunther kept it. He eventually power bombs Drew and pins him, giving Gunther wins over both guys, so maybe it means Gunther moves on. It was fun. It doesn't sound like I had any fun by the sound of my voice right now during this show. I assure you I did until a moment. I had a good time. They played with the beats of the Bowery, where I think Sheamus would do the forearm, but Drew would do a chop, and they would go to 10, and then Sheamus, I think, did like 28 of his own beats of the Bowery to Drew and almost like collapsed from exhaustion. Three very tough dudes hitting real hard in safe places, snug but not stiff, laying it in, letting you know, letting you feel it, and damn it, letting you hear it. Great work by all three. I thank the three of you for working hard to give us everything you could. It's appreciated. Let's move on. Asuka wrestles Bianca Belair. Oh, boy. Asuka can't get a WrestleMania win, can she? Asuka did lose this match. This was very good, but it also could have main evented Raw. I really feel like maybe just it didn't make Hulu most of the time, but the build to this it just felt very distant and not personal. It just really I don't feel at any point that Asuka's change in demeanor and appearance since the Rumble was ever really explained. They kind of gave her the Danhausen treatment, if that makes any sense. The announcers never told you why. They just did it and said, internet. They know. They'll fill in the blanks. No, they don't. And I think that lack of explaining back in January hurt this match on April 2nd. So I had trouble believing that Bianca was in jeopardy. Bianca shined right away. She was not one of the baby faces who took heat right away, and maybe she needed it more. They started off hot, and I disagree. They started off hot with Bianca hitting drop kicks and shit. My feeling is it should have started off a little slow with Asuka sneaking in some kicks and making Bianca limp, making Bianca sell, making Bianca look worried, making Bianca look concerned. That would have helped us. It wasn't bad, but I didn't feel an element of danger for our babyface. I didn't feel our babyface was in trouble. She wasn't. Bianca wins eventually with her finish. Nothing wrong with it. They hit each other. They're very physical, but it felt like a main event of Raw, or yeah, that's what it felt like in size. It felt like a very good main event of Raw, I should add. Asuka, but side note, apparently Asuka's been getting a lot of shit on the internet. People telling her to go home because she's Asian or something. Um, I seriously doubt anyone who does that is also listening to this. But in the unlikely event, fuck you, and don't listen to my stuff or don't listen to my channel or my stand-up comedy. I don't want you. I don't need you. Go to hell. Fuck off. Stay away from me. I don't want your money. Okay. The Miz is back with Snoop Dogg. And I drew a frowny face because if we need more evidence, yes, Shane McMahon showed up. And of course, he got a little nostalgia pop. But then it's too much because now this 53-year-old red faced buffoon has to challenge The Miz to a match. Apparently, Snoop Dogg, I'm not kidding, has the authority to do that. Everybody had their cups, but they hadn't chipped in, and they had to get theirs before he had to get his. So it was unfortunate in that regards. He was outside the ring, stepping this motherfucker just to swing in his hair, and Shane does some leapfrogs because he doesn't wrestle, so there's a good idea. Blows his knee out, and Miz has to wait. And I don't know if Snoop improvised or someone. I think someone gave him the Iggy, probably. But Snoop runs in, punches the Miz. Miz sells it like he got shot in the head. And then Snoop does it again, and Miz powders out, and that was that. And they don't show Shane again, so they carried his ass out. I hope he's hurt. Remember a little over a year ago, he inserted himself into the Rumble and ruined it? It's not going to get better. But Vince wants us to know that he's in charge. So there we go. The hedge in a cell. Yeah, it's just a bunch of shrubbery and bad landscaping. Edge is in Hell in a Cell versus Finn Balor, who's in a demon makeup next. But because it's Edge and Edge is spooky when he wrestles in a cell, we had the kind of remember the old Freddie Blassie promos of the mid and late 90s. Well, we had to imitate those because he's not alive anymore. He's deceased. So some guy was doing that basically. The cell lowers and we have more things. Edge comes out in a spooky silvery mask reminiscent of Brood, his old group. And it even says Brood Edge on the logo, so you know which version of Edge this is. Then came Malibu Edge, and we've yet to see Retirement Edge. I'm waiting on that guy. Now, I like Edge, but he's getting too much of what he wants, and it shows. It's not good. We knew he was going to beat the Demon Finn anyway, and he does. So they have this match. They have this match here. Yoy. Bells and whistles, smoke and mirrors, laser light show galore, one trick pony, beating a dead horse, hogging the covers, staining the sheets, piss and blood, and bleeding piss. They're in the cell, so Edge pulls out chairs and kendo sticks and tables and weed whackers and chainsaws and iPads and welcome mats and garbage disposals and wheat bread. Okay, I've got a little carried away with some of that stuff. Ballpoint pens, anything you get, whatever the hell, it's all out there. Him and Finn are doing their thing, and Finn is doing a decent job of acting different because he's the demon. The only problem is Finn is the heel. He has a lot of problems. Finn is the heel here, and he's in the character everyone loves and wants back, and he did the old music. So we're supposed to nostalgia pop for Finn, but then boo him. I don't understand. Biggest problem is Edge won this feud in February. This was to give Edge a match because he's Edge, but he's fucking with a flaccid wiener here. Like it's already done. Why are we doing this? If this felt like a Saudi Arabia match, it's like a big main event with a gimmick on paper. It's just happening for no reason, like it's in its own universe. That's what it felt like. They had a great Saudi Arabia match at WrestleMania. So we're in the middle of Saudi Mania. Um, the most notable thing of the match is Edge throws a ladder at Finn's head. That's a good idea. And Finn is down for a long time, and doctors are inside the big cage to look at him. And a long time goes by where the camera won't show Finn at all, and I'm thinking, ugh, this is bad. Like minutes went by, and they won't even put the camera on Finn, and he's down, and the mat was really gross. I think they changed the canvas during every match, which I've heard lately they do that anyway. But Asuka had the blue makeup and the blue mist and whatever, so that's gonna mess it up. But this was like blood. You couldn't tell what was blood and what was just body paint coming off of Finn. So the place it was just dirty. But I thought it was a pile of blood. But it's hard to tell because half the body paint was red. So who the hell knows? Finn's down for way too long, and I just figured out they cut it. They split his head open. He took a ladder and a head, and he just gets up and they just start going again somehow, and that was that. My guess is he just legit said the fuck doctor's orders. This is WrestleMania. So him and Edge go back, and there's a bunch of big stuff, all of which Finn took. Finn is standing on the top rope while Edge is on a ladder, and Finn takes a flat face DDT. Finn has Edge onto the table in the ring, and he's going to do the coup de Gracie, the double stomp off the top, and then Finn jumps from the buckle to the cage like Spider-Man, good old Spider-Man. And then there's conveniently, where there's never been before, a weird, like, square foot metal platform just sticking out of the side of the cage. Never seen one of those in a cage in a cell before, but Finn can stand on it, and he jumps over the ringside area, over the ring apron, is the hardest part of the ring, over the top rope, and does the double stomp, but Edge moves, and he just stomps both his feet through a table and should have broken his legs. And I think shortly after that, he takes a spear. Because none of this big crazy shit. He's getting his head split in half, and he has DDTs from a second story window, and breaking his legs, jumping all over the ring apron is the hardest part of the ring. But the spear from Edge pins him 1, 2, 3. And it just occurred to me now they had 2 matches in a row where a spear was the finish. No one's going to notice that. I guarantee you, you're not going to see anyone on Twitter making that complaint. 2 matches in a row ended with a spear 1, 2, 3. but gave away the finish of the next one. Let's go to the main event. Cody makes his entrance and he says, "Hello, here's Brandy." He says hi to his wife Brandy and their 2-year old, roughly, a toddler, 2 or 3-year old of some sort, who's very wisely and responsibly they're putting headphones or earmuffs on a kid because the noise is deafening in there, protecting the kid's ears, and I thought that was kind of nice. So they didn't do the same for their dog a couple of years ago. Okay, Bob, it's if you know, you know. But Roman, it wasn't too bad actually. They had a bunch of professional pianists. Pianists, lol. And I wanted to be like them and play as well as them, so I had pianist envy for sure. Okay, Bob, are you done? People were playing pianos. Grow up, you ass. And they're playing Roman's song, but they're making all these herky jerky motions with their face, and I kind of LOL'd a bit. Roman takes a sweet time, takes about 4 days to come to the ring. The ring announcer needs to be fired. She's doing a. I'm going to bitch about this every time. She's doing a parody of a ring announcer. And if anyone else was doing that announcing, it'd be racist. The way she says "Solo Sokoa," like she's making fun of his thing. She announced from Atlanta, Georgia. When she said Atlanta, Georgia for Cody, she said it like an SNL character from the '90s. From Atlanta, Georgia, you're giving me the vapors. It was. If you listen to any part of this show, if you have the cock, if you have WWE on the cock, find, and you really don't want to relive this event ever again. Relive just the ring entrances, the in-ring ring entrances for Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. I couldn't take the main event seriously for a while. I had the giggles. It was bombastic. I really think she needs medical attention. I think when the doctors ran out during the Hell in a Cell, they should have just grabbed her instead and said, "You're coming with us. You can announce all the people you want in a white rubber room. Have a great time. Nice dress. I hope we get the same color and straight jacket. Okay." So, as we speak, she's being treated for a female hernia. Let's move on from her. The match was very good. Again, I love the starting slow. I love the way Roman does that. Roman even had Cody had him in a hammerlock, and Roman worked his way to the rope. And reminiscent of his promo a week or two ago about "you're wrestling, this is sports entertainment, God mode, yada yada." He's kind of goofily, like when he's about to lock up after the breakup of the after the rope break with the hammerlock. He does a mini little "ooh, my arm hammerlock cell," like you're being a wrestler. This is what are you doing? Very small. We need the small things. Wonderful back and forth match. Solo interferes 3 times. Eventually hits Cody with the weight belt. He gets thrown out. Oh, let me back up. When Cody enters, you see the wife and the son of Brody Lee, or Luke Harper, as he was known in WWE. So I guess the 8-year-old is now 10, and he wasn't wearing the mask. He always wears a mask in AEW, the kid, but now he's wearing no mask because he was on a show he wasn't embarrassed about, probably. Oh, that's okay, kid. Wait 25 minutes. You're going to be embarrassed. So, Solo gets thrown out. They're trading their moves. They're kicking out. They're having a great time. Everybody's into it. It was actually louder than Kevin Owens, Sammy, and the Usos the night before, which I didn't think was possible. But they're doing it, and it's great. It's great dramatic pro wrestling. They're having that match. I had no idea. Cody to me looked like he was going to win when he walked to the ring. There was no baby face. What a boo boo face. No boo boo face from the baby face. What a pro. I had no idea. He came, he looked to me like he was winning that damn thing. During every second of his special entrance where he's got his back to the stadium, they show him from the front or whatever the fuck. He looked like he was winning that damn thing, and he got me. Y'all got me. Ref bump where ref got grazed a little bit more than on an errant kick from Cody. Okay, it happens. Of course, the referees, this is a Roman Mania match, so the referee's going to be down for 6 days. Usos run out, double kicks, and a 1D on Cody. Sammy and Kevin Owens run out in hoodies from the crowd. They brawl with the Usos, knock the Usos out. And since Cody took a double kick and a 1D, we get a stunner and a haluva kick on Roman. All should be fair. 1-2 kick out. Okay. We start with the stupid trading fists, yay boo trading. Could we let that go? But either way, I figured, okay, work our way up, do a spear, a kick out, miss some kind of a spear into a crossroads, 1, 2, 3, since the crossroads had already been kicked out of. What did they actually do? They worked their way up. I think there was a spear Cody kicked out of. There was, because that's when Roman is really selling it like crazy, and I think that's, where Roman misses something. I think it was 3 crossroads, and before the ref can come to, Solo comes back in a hoodie, does the spike. Referee starts to come to, spear, 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns wins this. This is the colossal mistake that I was bitching about for a few minutes up top. It was time. It wasn't time against Kevin Owens. It wasn't time against Sammy. It wasn't time against Drew. Sorry, a lot of fans felt it wasn't. I'm sorry, it wasn't. It wasn't time against Orton. It wasn't time against Rey Mysterio. It wasn't time against Brock and also Brock. It wasn't time. Now was the time. It wasn't time against Edge and Daniel Bryan at the same time. This was time. Everyone knew it. And for no reason, because there's no other opponents. Don't tell me it's going to be Gunther. You might get Gunther Brock at SummerSlam. I don't know how much more Brock we're going to get, but then again, we always hear that every time his contract's coming up, don't we? So who knows? There was no one to do it other than Cody. It was the perfect story. We had the real injury. He was half purple back in June. Comes back, wins the Rumble, the story. Everybody wants it. They worked so hard to make it so that they won't boo Cody because they loved Sammy so much. They did everything right to keep Sammy, KO, and Cody on the same page, including Cody reuniting them or helping them reunite. Everything was done right. Now Roman has no opponents. Because if Cody wins it at some pay-per-view in a month and Roman's not losing anything at a Backlash, maybe a SummerSlam, maybe. Cody could win. If Cody beats him at SummerSlam, it's over. It doesn't matter. It's hollow. It's lost. The ball has been dropped. And it wasn't just dropped. It was picked up by Vince McMahon and thrown over the fence out of the yard so no one else can play. Audience of 1. This is my 200th episode of Hardest Part of the Ring. I can't believe as a wrestling fan I can say this. I don't think I'm going to watch Raw this week. The Raw after WrestleMania, the Raw. I don't think I'm going to watch SmackDown. I don't watch AEW. Everything with pro wrestling has made me sick. I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to make the time. I've been working on a new Sunbob for 3 days. Been quiet about it. The 1990 episode of SOL Dinobots. It's really long and hard and blue-veined and thick. And, okay, stop it. Things like a human tripod. Knock it off, Bob. No more dick jokes. How old are you? You know, one girlfriend wanted me to take those pills that increase my size by 3 inches. I said, that's stupid. How am I supposed to be 6'2"? Okay, Bob, are you finished with your Balor jokes? You done? You done? Not good with the ladies, you know. I chose a new date for my wedding. My fiance hates her. Okay, Bob, are you finished? Are you finished? Rough week at the office. My boss, he keeps butt dialing me, which is crazy because he's got a landline phone. What the hell is he doing in there? Ah, just gonna keep on doing this, aren't you, Bob? I'm sorry. Very sorry. My family's very serious, actually. My uncle is a podiatrist and my aunt is a gynecologist. How about that? Yeah. All they ever do is pussyfoot around. Okay, Bob, are you finished? My At 43 years old with nothing to show for it, my body is not good. I've had a pain in my hip for 3 days. Everything stems from I got no knees. I made personal sacrifice after personal sacrifice, financial and then personal and then romantic, too many times for wrestling. I've done it for comedy too. I've got nothing to show for it. America's Got Talent did not pick me despite how well the thing went. I got ripped off in a comedy contest after having the best set. The booker had her, the owner slash booker was the only judge in her fake contest. Her friend won the whole thing, and during my set, she had her face in her phone, of course, and just didn't want me to beat her friend. I've been ripped off by these things too many goddamn times. I'm tired. My body hurts. Nothing's going my way. And I'm about to inherit two dogs that I love, but I don't want and honestly can't take care of. But I have to do it for legal reasons because somebody's was fucking around. I don't have time to watch Vince McMahon jerk himself off for a 35th year in a row. I'm embarrassed by how much time I gave to this. I need to stop. I'm going to make more toy videos. I need some stand up clips. I need to sell some goddamn tickets. That's what I need to do. In the meantime, all I can do, all I can hope for is that Shane McMahon hurt his leg really bad. Jesus, Bob. Ah, that was night 2 of WrestleMania. It could have stopped at night 1. Night 1 main event left us happy. And night 1, at one point, Sami Zayn gave a brainbuster to one of the Usos, which, if you didn't know, is the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you get thrown in a da-da-da-da. Start again. Sometimes you go over the top rope and you bang your head on the ring apron. Don't do that. That's when you feel like a big dope. They're the worst bumps you can be taking. Oh, sorry, I belched. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Now double claps. Clap, 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 clap. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba da ba da. Ba da ba da.